Hi. In this tutorial I want to talk a little bit more about finger action, and we're going to talk also about finger pressure. Now, it's so important in the beginning to develop the right kinds of muscle motions and the right sort of mechanisms, if you will. And it's something that just learning the correct mental verbal commands from the beginning, so as you develop your technique, you'll know what to tell yourself, what to tell your fingers when you're practicing. And we'll also be going over some exercises so that you can incorporate that into your practice. So again, first let's just review how the fingers go down on the strings. And remember, it's a striking action, just like the hammers on the inside of a piano. If you have the opportunity, if you have a piano or can look at one, watch how the hammers work. Essentially, that's how the fingers work. They hit the strings. So they're not pushed down, squeezed down, or mashed, okay? Then, because if they are, you won't have that clear finger articulation. So the first thing is let's just do some exercises to kind of work with this idea of finger action. And we're just going to do these hammering motions, okay? And you can have your thumb back here in first position, or it might be more relaxing for you, is go ahead and put your thumb forward, and I'm going to turn the violin around a little bit like this. You can sort of rest it in this crook, the crook of the neck right here. And sometimes and when you have this, the edge of the violin also serves as a little anchor point. It's just, it can be more relaxing and less taxing on your muscles as you work. Also, there's a slight less tendency to squeeze down here with your pincher mechanism, if you will. So this is probably the first thing we really want to train, and that is not squeezing the neck when our fingers go down. Okay, so what we're going to start doing is we're going to hit the strings with second or third finger. I'm just going to use third finger. Okay, and as I strike the strings, I'm really going to focus in mentally on isolating the muscles here in the forearm and in the palm of the hand that enable this action, this striking motion. Okay, and at the same time, I'm monitoring my thumb, and I'm making sure that I'm not squeezing with the thumb and the first joint, the base knuckle of the first finger. Okay, so that's not happening. That's staying very relaxed, and only the third finger is working. Now, since all our tendons and everything is all connected, the second finger, the pinky, will move along too, but that's not a worry. Okay, and you're just going to strike. And what you're going to go for, what you want to eventually develop, is the ping, kind of the pop of the note. And it's just when the finger hits the fingerboard, and you can hear the little thud. Okay, and it takes a lot of strength to do this. You won't have the strength in the very beginning. You won't hear it. Okay, but as you get strength in your hand and your forearm, you'll hear that little thump. Okay, now once you do that finger on the A string, I'm on the A string now. Okay, now let's move to other strings. And when we do that, we want to keep the hand, okay, in the same axis or the same level as the string we're playing on. So if I want to go to the G string, I'm going to have to bring my elbow forward so that my finger retains the same curvature. Okay, now I'm going to tap on the G string. I can go on up here, back up to this third, fourth position area. And again, as I do this, I'm always monitoring the thumb. There are method books that suggest taking the thumb away so that you avoid that tendency of squeezing with the thumb, like this. But the problem with that also invites tension in the front of the hand. Then you start, doing something like that, which is equally unnecessary. So I just like to make sure that I'm able to really isolate. Okay, so once you've moved around and tapped on different strings, use a different finger. So second finger. And also I'm giving as much attention to the release. Okay, so we have the strike and we have the release. Both are quick. Okay, the release is immediate. So it's like a little pop and release. And now I'm moving into, obviously you can see I'm going down and back up. So I'm in first position, and now I move up to third, this fourth position area, and I'm just doing it on different strings, okay? So I would say spend just a minute or so doing that in practice to establishing that good finger action motion. Now, this also brings up another technique, finger pressure. Well, it's not really a technique, it's just an issue to address. And it's sort of an irony. On the one hand, it takes a lot of strength to strike the string, which you need, but on the other hand, we don't want to press the strings, hold them down with too much pressure either, okay? So there are some passages where we have this popping up motion quickly when we're playing fast notes, and then many times we're holding the string down, okay? So now we're going to address this other issue of finger pressure, and this exercise, this is one of those Zen exercises. Okay, so with the bow, you're actually going to play a note. And I'm going to go ahead and choose third finger on the A string, that's a D, and just place the third finger on the string with absolutely no pressure at all. We call this featherweight. So you're just touching the string. And if you play that, it's going to sound, you should hear a harmonic. This whistling sound from the string, that's a harmonic. If you don't hear it, it's okay. Even if it sounds like this, that's fine. Okay, but we just want it to have that sort of whistly, glassy sound. Now, I'm going to slowly, over the course maybe of a minute, I'm going to slowly press the string down. Okay, now I'm using the word press, but we're still using the energy from our whole arm, not from the thumb, not from the pincher, not from squeezing. But we're just going to slowly press the string down, okay, until we hear a solid note. And I want you to go slowly because I want you to see just how many gradations of pressure there is. So all the way from featherweight to solid tone, solid sound, okay? Here I go. You can play along. Otherwise, it's very tedious to watch. And I'm going to slowly press the string down. And as I'm pressing, I'm not hearing the harmonic anymore. I'm starting to hear a pitch. It's not clear. I'm still making sure my thumb is relaxed. Now it's going to start sounding like a real pitch here in a second. Okay, there's the pitch. It's not as solid as it can be. Now it's in focus. It's just like you're taking a picture of something and the lens is out of focus and you slowly turn the lens and it becomes clear, okay? And now we're going to go from solid pitch and you're going to slowly release pressure to where it's glassy and out of focus. It's less focused. Now I'm just barely touching, and now you hear the harmonic. Okay, so what's good about this exercise is it's just an opportunity, to focus really keenly and see just how much pressure it really does take to hold the string down, which is not that much. So if you combine the swift hammer action, and once you hit, you release tension to the point of just amount of pressure to hold the string down. So now I'm going to combine these two ideas. Okay, I'm going to tap, and I'm going to hold the string down. When I hold it down, I'm going to try to release pressure just as if my finger were going to fly up, but it's actually just going to stay down. So it's a quick kind of forceful hit, a little bit of release, and see if it's in focus. Tap, 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 hold. Imagine that it's coming up, but it's really not. It's just releasing a little bit of the energy, just enough to make the string sound in focus. So you can try it. And if it's, then you haven't got quite enough energy still in the string. That's too hard. I'm kind of pushing down, okay? And that's something that you really can't see on a video. It's just something you're going to have to experience. Okay? So again, just if you take, you know, a little bit of time and put that much focus into your technique and your warm-up, then it's really just the tentacles will spread into your playing, and it's just, you know, it's going to get better and better. Okay? So I would combine these two exercises and do some taps, then do the harmonic experiment to where you start pressing just until you hear the pitch, going back, releasing back to harmonic, okay, and all the while really reserving some focus for the thumb and the first finger, that this is not happening, okay? And now once you do this with second and third finger quite a bit, then it's time to do first finger and fourth finger, okay? When you use first finger, again, that tendency to pinch becomes very strong, okay? So again, it takes extra monitoring. And then with the pinky, since the pinky is the weakest digit, okay, we tend to put more tension in the hand to compensate because it is weaker, okay? And it's just a question of really building up the muscles in the back of the hand. Okay, thank you.